Welcome to this week's episode of The Jury. I'm your host Khanya, and this week we have a juicy topic. We'll be talking racism, especially leading into Russia 2018. Will it be racism free? Also, don't forget to subscribe to our social media platforms. That's at The Jury SA on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, as well as The Jury SA on YouTube. Stay tuned. Welcome to this week's episode of The Floor is Yours. I'd like to welcome Anthony Melk as Fizz is out for the week. Welcome.
Yo.
So let's get into it.
Yeah, I'm not giving it back.
That's not your choice, boy.
So, lads, I want to ask, what role do you guys think football has to play when it comes to racism? And whether or not you think the football anti-racism campaigns are effective. I'll start here with Villa.
Okay, well, so football, as we know, it's a beautiful sport, one of the most uniting sports around the world. But obviously racism continues to be a problem in the game. And it's unfortunate because a game as beautiful as football, it should never matter what color, creed, whatever you believe in, for that to come into just supporting football and what football is meant to be about. And it's not even just about football, it's about in life. We shouldn't be hating each other and everything. We should just be sharing things that we love together, and football is one of the things that we can all share together. And with a lot of anti-racism campaigns, the particular one that I read up on was that speak out. It was an anti-racism campaign that was headed by Thierry Henry with Nike, where basically they had these white and black bangles, showing that white people and black people are together. But I mean, it's gone now, and like nobody hardly remembers it. You know, it was just like almost, I don't know, it didn't have that kind of effect, you know. And we actually had Gary Neville and Paul Scholes actually deciding not to support the campaign because they thought Nike was just trying to take advantage of something which probably needs much more than that to be addressed, something like race, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my feelings. It's like, it's people who need to change. I mean, campaigns can do stuff, but people need to change.
Oh, wait, Snoopy!
Yeah, guys, these campaigns, I think they're a waste of time, to be honest. The kick it out campaigns, like sharp, they do awareness and things, but I think it's important that we need to go to the roots. We need to go to FIFA, we need to go to UEFA, we need to go to CAF, all these things, and they need to look at banning people. Seriously, serious bans. Like, look at the NBA with Donald Sterling, guys. Donald Sterling had this racism rant, whatever, and they banned him. They gave him a lifetime ban out of the NBA. Telling him straight, like, guys, we're not going to accept this in our sport. Why can't we do the same thing in football? Like, okay, if it's not a lifetime ban, but there must be stronger bans. Like with Luis Suarez, it wasn't even that deep. Like, racism is a serious thing, guys. If they can be so anal about match fixing and like ban people for life, why can't you do it at racism? Because racism is a serious thing. We must kick it out in those ways. And like right now, kick it out. Oh yeah, bangles. Like, what is a bangle gonna do, guys? Come on. Just an accessory. Come on. No, man.
Okay, right. The first problem I have with this question is that FIFA has zero credibility, right, in the eyes of everyone. Even though, okay, we all spend thousands of rands a month on football and consuming football, right? FIFA telling us that racism is wrong or anything. It's like, okay, do any of you guys watch The Sopranos?
Yeah,
surely. Yeah.
Surely.
So it's like season 3 of The Sopranos, right? Tony's on top. Everyone else is just getting funged on charges. Saul's going to jail. Chris is going to rehab. Someone's going to jail. No. And then in the middle of all of that, Tony, because he runs a waste management company, says, "Hey guys, don't litter." What do you say to him? Like, nigga, the fuck? Like, what do you say?
True.
Like, that's why I feel like FIFA has nothing to say to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you guys are getting charged on racketeering, on corruption, on bribery, on all these things, how can you turn around and tell us, hey guys, treat each other well? When you're robbing every single
You're
one
doing
of us.
Nyo's veil in the first place.
That's the topic.
That's
Oh.
a super good point. I actually didn't even look at it that way. That's kind of opened my eyes a bit. That you know what I mean. Like, how can we be listening to FIFA when they
They got their hands
shit
in
every single
everything,
pie,
in
dude.
everything.
That's very true, man.
When
That's
countries
very true.
are evaporating their
very
whole
true,
economies trying to host the tournament for FIFA, trying to make their
Yeah.
executives feel comfortable in the country. Like,
Yeah.
don't tell me that I shouldn't be racist when you're taking our money.
So Mark, what you're saying is that you don't think that football, like FIFA or anyone, actually needs to have has a role to play. Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying that, you know, they screwed up, so
What he's saying is that FIFA have no credibility.
No,
They have no leg to stand on.
I'm saying on their campaigns and on the effectiveness level, I'm saying I can't say that they're effective or not because I don't give FIFA any light of day or time of day.
Yeah.
Because whatever they say, I'm like, okay, wasn't it a year ago when maybe 25 of your senior executives were all had their finger in the pot of this corruption thing?
Yeah.
Don't tell me that, oh no, treat people well and be non-racist and whatever when you're just cheating the lot of us.
Yeah.
It's not even like it's one country or whatever. Like economies are selling their souls to host your tournament. Like I can't do it. But yeah.
on that note, guys, what do you guys think about Russia 2018? We know Russia is full of racism. Do you think that it will be racism free? I'm gonna start here with Dave and then go on to Jeezy and then Kai. I'll come to you that side.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna be racism free at all. I think in fact maybe the opposite. I think it's gonna be quite bad over there because there are known groups of hooligans who promote racism. They're anti-black, anti-all sorts. They are the whole thing with the corruption. I mean, there's people throwing bananas at people at players in Russia, at black players in Russia. We've heard of a few examples of that. I mean, if we're still raising awareness in 2017, where are we really? You know. So I don't know about the Russian World Cup. It just, to me, it says that FIFA they had some other motive as to why Russia is actually hosting this World Cup, and I don't know about African countries liking it too much there.
Can I ask what motive
Well,
besides?
I mean, I'm sure it stems back to what
what
Mark
they were
was saying.
talking about the corruption,
Yeah.
the fingers in the pot.
Yeah.
I think. Okay, let's just go ahead and say it. I think that there were monetary motives in terms of
yeah.
choosing
Why
next
not?
year.
Let's get that out.
Let's actually just say it. Sorry.
100%.
Cheesy.
Yeah, so like, I don't think it's gonna be that big of a success because, like, I was doing my research. There's this mob. They call themselves Lanskrona, and the leader of this group was quoted to say, "You think it was bad in France?" This is obviously relating to the Euros in 2016 when shit went haywire in Marseille. He says, "You think it was bad in France? Wait until Russia. This is our home fixture. If the English wants a second beating after Marseille, all they have to do is ask." And then there was another leader from a separate group who warned gay and black English fans to be careful when they visit, because Russians aren't necessarily the most educated about these things. So like, they lose their heads essentially.
Uneducated, and they're very stuck in their ways.
Yes.
So I'm not too sure it's gonna be that successful. Oaks are already plotting. I don't know what they're plotting, but they're plotting.
Away, Kaya.
Russia. Ooh.
You know what? The simple fact of the matter is, like, all of us on this panel are black, right? And I don't know, you guys will correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel it's safe to say that, like me, all of you, as soon as you heard the World Cup was in Russia, confirm your first thought was, Russia will not smell me.
Holla.
It will not smell me.
Holla,
Confirm.
holla.
That was your first thought.
Two of them things.
You were
Two of them
like,
things.
Russia will not smell me because
See you in Qatar.
we know if we go to Russia, we might not come back.
See you in Qatar. Forget about it.
And that's just an indictment on how bad it is that side. You know what I mean? Like somebody like Hulk who plays there for Zenit St. Petersburg says that almost every single game he plays, he's subject to some form of racism. You know, I'm glad he's getting paid a lot because that clearly makes it fine. That's why he's still there. But like, I will not. Russia will not smell me. It actually won't.
Oh, can I just add on to that, nah? Like, that's what I'm saying is like, literally, these guys are always getting, like, they're always subject to racial chants and all these bananas and things like that. And still, they just have to get a thick skin, which is a problem, which is why we need to have stringent measures in place. Like, people must be disciplined properly. How can still to this day in Russia, you know very well that people are gonna get booed, they're gonna be monkey chants.
Somebody's saying he's getting things every game,
and you look at
happening.
That's why when you go to the Premier League, you go to La Liga. In the Premier League, Chelsea fans, they've got black players and they're still busy being racist. Like, guys, what the fuck is that? I'm sorry, like, they need to be serious about it. How can John Terry be the captain of the club, racially abuse someone and stay the captain of the club?
True.
How can you do that as a club? That is wrong.
Yeah, cheesy.
Yeah, no, just adding on to like the examples, like in St. Petersburg, it's really bad. Like, that's probably the most racist part of Russia, if I'm not mistaken. Especially in football terms. Like, Oaks, this is just one example. Oaks wear KKK hoods to games.
In
Swag.
2017.
In 2017, Oaks are wearing KKK hoods to games to go and support their team. They're wearing KKK hoods.
Do you guys, sorry, Ben, I'm gonna come to you. Do you guys not think that, you know, things like that, shouldn't the leagues be saying no to shit like that? You can't, that's discriminatory.
I don't think they can fight about that. I think there's too much of like there's so much racism that it's something that's been a part of the culture for so long that they actually can't like stop it. Like, they can't do anything about it because it's ingrained in the culture essentially. So it's a lot harder to stop because it's how they are.
I hear that, Villa.
Yeah, guys, and then I wanted to.
That they must keep and protect.
Sorry, say that again?
No, I think it. Oh no, never mind. It's fine.
Oh,
Yeah.
Villa.
I also just wanted to speak on the. I also just wanted to speak on the.
Villa.
Yeah. I just wanted to speak like on the subtle, even like the subtle racism. I mean, there was that earlier on this season, even at United when Lukaku came, there was that chant which referred to his private parts. You know what I mean? And like it's like why, bruh? Why when black play like why there's that thing that is just like.
Why is it okay now?
Why is that? It's like they'll say it's in good fun, but I mean, it's not okay to be talking about black people because of their features and stuff like that. And the thing is that it's the same people. If Lukaku misses a big opportunity, I wonder what they're calling him at their house when they're alone or when they're chilling with their friends. What are they calling Lukaku when he doesn't play well? You know what I mean? There's that thing also for black players.
Yes, Malk?
We know what they're saying at home because we've seen what they say in front of our face. So let's not be funny about it. We know.
I think it's even worse.
Yeah.
I think it's way worse. We don't know. We have no idea. Yeah.
Alright then, lads. Any more comments on this before we move on? Away, Anthony.
One more. Okay, sorry. Just the topic of, is Russia going to be racism free? Okay, the simple answer is no, right? Obviously, like, as black people here, all on the panel, we expect racism every day. Like, even when you go to your white friend's house, even if you go out with them, you'll be like, oh yeah, there's a black chick for you. Like, white people won't find you attractive or something like that. Like, you expect it every day. Every day, you expect this thing.
Fucking facts. Wow.
Right?
Bruh. Y'all show us that dance, eh? That was
Right.
the kwasa, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, you can dance. Get in the circle.
Teach me how to doggy, eh?
Play music. You know the tunes, bro. Like, you know. Hey, you know that you dance that all the kicks like? You know that. You know what I'm talking about.
What is it,
You know
eh?
what I'm talking about.
It's a whip, eh? Fuck that shit, man.
Right, but just to add like something on the other side of it, like, okay, sure, we expect like a lot of racism to be in Russia, right? But on the other hand, like I also expect people to be more welcoming and accepting of tourists and different color creeds of people. Because I mean, even when we were hosting the South African World Cup, when you came in contact with tourists or anything, they'd say something like, "Oh no, I thought South Africa was so wild. There was so much crime, nah. Meanwhile, you find out this guy's just, all he's done is just searched South Africa and crime, not South Africa, beautiful country, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You'll find what you're looking for, is what I'm
Yeah.
trying to say,
Yeah.
essentially. So let's just like be careful not to like just make the whole of Russia a whole racist country.
Touche.
Because most of us just associate like Vladimir Putin and Russia and vodka with Russia. So let's just be careful. Yeah. That's all.
So we're gonna move on now. Just the last thing. There have been some recent developments with the England women's team, the national team. Letty, can you just spread light to that?
There's been some controversy around one of the footballers, Eniola Luko, right? She and a couple of her teammates complained about racist and sexist comments from the manager Mark Sampson, I think dating back as far as maybe a year ago. And the FA, this is the FA, by the way, that's the main football board in England.
Football
English
Association.
Premier League. That's the board. That's the league you're watching. That's them, right? Their first reaction was to try and protect Samson. So at first they tried to ignore her, tried to keep it within the organization, you know, and there was even rumors of a confidentiality agreement that they tried to get her to sign. Apparently she signed it and she wasn't even paid that full amount. She went to go get a lawyer, and independent barrister actually found that barrister is a form of a lawyer. They practice law. They have a law degree.
Yeah.
It's basically like advocate or attorney. There's little distinguishable things that
Keep it
tell
going.
them apart.
Keep the
Anyways,
story
yeah.
Sorry.
Jeezy with this
Yeah, basically the barrister found that the FA hadn't tried to investigate properly. There were ethics issues, and then the FA, to try and save some face, had to fire Samson eventually and pay her the money essentially. And when she complained, she was actually dropped from the team. Another example of the FA's racism. No, let me not say racism, but
It's racism, man.
blatant. I want to say blatant racism. It's not blatant, but it's undercover, but like it's actually blatant there.
Yeah.
Anyways, there was a mixed race player who was having her 50th cap, right?
Oh.
And the 50th cap was meant to be celebrated and honored. So this cap came on the same day as a white player's 100th cap. Now, the 100th cap was a bigger occasion, of course, but the 50th cap was still not recognized. It was totally ignored. It was like she was just playing another game, a 30-second cap or something. While the 100th player got a reception. Now, the usual protocol is that the 50th capped player comes out first.
And then the 100
It's honored. The 100 cap player comes out after that. Then it's honored. They totally ignored her, and there were racial undertones with that. And when she actually brought it up, she was dropped from the side. So
She was sidelined.
questionable.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not enough is being done.
Joburg, can we just get one guy commenting on that side? Your thoughts on this debacle?
Okay, I'll give it a bash because I mean I gave this subject all the credibility it deserves.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I know I know it's wrong for someone to experience racism or have to go through it, but in my mind, the first time like when I searched this subject or looked into it, like I'm glad that it happened to her. Like her being a person in the English FA, her being someone with a voice and with someone with some backbone. Because I mean, a lot of women in that position would have taken that £80,000 and just been like, you know, gone with it or quiet, or would have never said anything about it. So I mean, I feel like everything that needs to be said about it has been said, right? And there isn't any nuance to it. But I'm glad it had to be. Well, it was her, because if it was like someone who had to work 3 jobs to do this football thing. Because I mean,
They'll take it.
in the US, you have World Cup winners who work second jobs in the off season because they don't get enough money. So if she was in the position where she couldn't be like, nah, this is wrong, like fundamentally and morally, then I mean it would have been quiet. We've known about Mark Sampson and the English FA and how they deal with racism or anything like that. So yeah.
The FA would have achieved their goal of covering it up.
Yeah.
Keeping it under wraps, yes.
Yeah. Oh wait. Thanks for that, Anthony. Thank you for that. That wraps up our show. Please don't forget to subscribe to our social media. We'd like to thank Melk for bringing his input. It was much appreciated. And listen, guys, say no to racism. Stop being racist. Racism ain't cool. That's a wrap. The jury is adjourned. Thank you.